So it looks like raw hamburger, but it's not. It's a vegan patty. And this one I put oats in and potato to stick it together, as well as the chickpea flour. And the ones that we're eating, I didn't. I put just chickpea flour in them, no oats, no potato. But you can see, you can make your patties whatever kind of color. This one I put turmeric in, so you can see the yellow. But with this one, I put too much cranberry, and it looks like raw hamburger. And this color will not, it won't brown. So when I cook these, it'll still look like raw hamburger, which will not be very attractive. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about this. James tried this bar and he thought it was disgusting.
Not really. It's just not something I ever want to eat again. But, you know, like it wasn't really unpleasant. So
Okay.
when you drink a turmeric drink or something like that, you realize what disgusting is.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. So we're going to be having this one today. There's the ingredients in it. And I've already cut it in half because I saved the packages to put seeds in for giving away. And so this is what we're going to be eating today as a dessert, and we'll let you know how that one is. And I don't necessarily think, like, this one says ingredients you can see and pronounce, and who cares if it's sugar? Yeah, you can pronounce sugar, but that doesn't make it healthy for you. So we're drinking some cabbage juice along with our patties, and I'm not having a bun because my hands have been hurting a lot lately. And we're going to be talking about Hands of Light. I'm going to read through my notes that I took while reading that book. And I didn't expect to enjoy the book at all. And it turns out it's worth reading.
So before you start in there, do you remember that apple from yesterday that the bird was
and
chowing
he's
down
back
on?
eating it?
He's back chowing down on it, he or she.
It's going to take him a while to get through that one. Oh yeah, there he is.
yeah.
He's picking through it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Gotta have stuff to get you through
You
the
want
winter.
this on you or no?
You keep it.
It doesn't matter. I can have half and you can have half if you want. So
I don't want you to
anyway,
be freezing any more than necessary.
I brought the bars out so you can, because I've been talking about making your own stuff lately, and we have some little balls there for dessert. And yeah, you can't necessarily see the ingredients in that, but you can see it as well as you can in these. And you know what's in it though. You know that it's healthy stuff when you make it yourself. My little balls have no sugar in them. They have whole dates to sweeten them up. So I don't know. Now, do you want to talk about that video?
Riverdale?
Yeah.
Sex, Lies, Videotapes. It says on the back. 4th season. I'm amazed they've got this far. Is this a recent 2019, it says. So this is pretty recent. I used to kind of like the Archie comics back in the day. There are some names, similarity, including Riverdale and the person. That's about it. Even the Archie, what do you say about his hair?
Dyed?
It actually doesn't look that red. They call him red. And I'm going, wow, you know, I didn't think of myself as having red hair.
Maybe it was really hard for them to dye almost black hair strawberry blonde.
Yeah. So back in the day when I had hair and it actually had color, it was kind of like that. I never thought of myself as red hair, and I don't think anyone else did. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's, you know, like Ethel is overweight instead of underweight or whatever.
And Betty does not seem like a smiley, really amiable person at all.
So
yeah, I don't think she smiles once in the show.
And I think the story is more about her, or is it more about Archie? I'm not sure who it's supposed to be about. I always thought it was about Betty really. The Archie comics, whatever they were called, but and how he was missing the boat when it comes to well, I mean, he always struck me as being spoiled, right? So, I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, but you were gonna say about the music.
Yeah, well, hey, the music wasn't bad. Like if it were, should I use a so-called correct grammar? If it was, like I'll go with a modern day North American music. If it was just all kind of like dinner theater music, like I was saying to Pauline, it's maybe the best stuff I've ever heard on TV of that sort. I tried to watch Hell High back in the day. When was that? 25 years ago, a generation ago. But this one, the compositions actually seem pretty good. It seems like the folks who put this together were maybe more interested in that, and I think they cast the people more for their singing talents, performing talent. Are they dancing and prancing when they? I've been reading Punjabi or studying Punjabi. Reading's going to be way down the road. I've been reading the kind of cooked exercises they've got for stuff that maybe make you believe that you can actually read it, but it's a different sort of thing. Anyway, concentrating on that. So I've been hearing the stuff kind of in the background. So that's when my ears kind of perked up. But the rest of the time, yeah, I think I've seen one picture of Betty. And I was going, that doesn't look like Betty. And I'm going, Archie kind of looks like Archie except for the hair. I haven't even seen Reggie Mantle, what he looks like. I don't know what Pop's chocolate, whatever thing, what is it called? Anyway, I don't know what he looks like. I did see one flash of Ethel. I've seen Jughead a few times, and he doesn't look like Jughead. Hey, the whole thing is, if this COVID stuff continues and I keep having to go to the hospital, and I kind of like going to the hospital because it keeps me alive. But I go average once a week now, and just a few months ago I was going, maybe more like a couple of months ago I was going up to maybe twice that, maybe not twice, but 6 times. Did I say 4 times a week? I said once a week. Anyway, maybe 6 times a month.
Cut the thing in half. Yeah, go ahead.
So, like what happens with those crazy masks is they pull your ears out.
Check you want.
I don't know. I'll take the right hand one. It's a bigger one. Anyway. But they're gonna call me Jughead, because the thing is, the reason why Jughead was called Jughead is because his ears stuck out. He had bad ears or whatever. Clark Gable ears. Who else had ears like that? Michael Keaton, does he have ears like that? I don't know. I don't even know who's got ears like that.
This isn't good.
Oh, Eddie Murphy. No, not Eddie Murphy. Who's that guy? The French Prince of Bel-Air. What is his name?
Will Smith.
Will Smith. He kind of has those jug ears. They're not big bad ears, but I'm afraid I'm going to be rocking that look, Anyway, Jughead doesn't have that, right? Or maybe it's because he's wearing this toque that a few people are wearing nowadays. A few guys are wearing the toque. Some women wear a toque. I see it a lot at the cancer place because people are getting the treatment whilst they're home. So, it's, believe me, it's not gripping viewing, like I hardly watch it at all. So, you didn't like Veronica's look, right? You thought she should look, well, I mean, what are they calling her? Well, they do call her Lodge. I mean, she should. Lodge is kind of like an uppity, I gotta be careful about using that, scale, like white Anglo-Saxon Protestant American name, Henry Cabot Lodge or something like that, and she's kind of looking like ethnic or something like that, so I don't know what's going on there. So,
yep, this Cliff Bar is way too sweet.
Okay, so I might like it then. Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I don't like the sweet stuff.
And mine are better. Way better.
What? That was cabbage tree?
Yeah.
It's kind of fighting back. I better get some food in.
Yeah, you
so, Riverdale High, like if you're into the Archie stuff, forget it. You don't find much.
It's not like it.
If you kind of like music theater kind of stuff, you might like it. Like
Yeah.
I like that one installment of it.
Honestly, if they just did this show as a musical,
Mm.
given the talent that they have, it might work.
It's pretty good talent,
Yeah.
and it's not
But
just the performance, but the writing
as
stuff.
acting, they do a bad job.
Yeah.
And the stories for the show are just don't even bother.
Yeah,
So
although
honestly,
I gotta say, like
Mm.
I said to you, the people writing it seem to be learned. They've read stuff, you know, there was a quote from Shakespeare
true.
and all that sort of stuff. It's
Yeah.
just sometimes you can write dialogue or
Yeah, but it's
whatever,
not
but you're not
appropriate for
good
these
at putting.
guys.
Not, I never
Not at
thought
all.
of any of them as being any good at school. Wasn't Betty Cooper supposed to be good at school? Here, she's
I don't
some
think
sort
so.
of a
She's
whiz
just
or
supposed to be
something.
nice, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
and pretty, very pretty.
yeah, yeah. It's just Archie
Yeah.
doesn't recognize it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he's too hung up. Anyway,
Well, he's an idiot, but yeah,
Yeah.
they all are, frankly, probably idiots.
yeah. Okay, so Hands of Light. Now, this one was published in 1987, and Barbara Ann Brennan, awesome job. I never would have expected that I would find this book interesting at all, but in fact, I bought it from a library book sale a very long time ago, and hadn't bothered to read it, so I'm just reading it now. So I'll go through my notes and see what you think. Maybe you want to borrow this from your local public library, given the notes. Maybe it'll interest you. A quote, "All suffering is caused by the illusion of separateness, which generates fear and self-hatred, which eventually causes illness." Barbara Brennan is a healer, psychotherapist, and scientist. She was a research scientist for NASA for several years. She completed an MS in atmospheric physics from the University of Wisconsin. She was trained in bioenergetic therapy at the Institute for Psychophysical Synthesis, Community of the Whole Person, and in core energetics at the Institute for the New Age.
Oh.
Page 10. With high sense perception, HSP, you may see a red haze around an angry person. You can focus on the cause of the anger. Under the red, there's a thick gray fluid-like sadness. By focusing on the gray, you may see a childhood scene that caused their pain. You can also see how this is harming their body health. The HEF, human energy field, is the medium of work. Allow yourself to be the light of the candle that expands into the universe. She gave an example of a candlelight and how when you're looking at it, you can't really distinguish where it ends. The light of a candle, it just goes and where does the darkness end? You know what I mean? It just kind of blends together, right? Page 19, electrocardiogram measures electrical currents from the heart. Electroencephalogram from the brain. Page 20, lie detector measures the electropotential of the skin. SQUID, superconducting quantum interference device, can now measure magnetic fields around the body. DRS, H. Burr and F. Northrop, 1939, at Yale University, were able to measure the energy field of a plant seed to tell how healthy the plant grown from the seed would be. They could also pinpoint women's ovulation time and some other things if you want to look into that. Dr. Robert Becker, 1979, mapped the body's electrical field. Direct current control system, electron-sized particle move through it. It changes shape and strength. Dr. Victor Inyushin works with the bioplasmic energy field, made up of ions, free protons, and free electrons. It is a state distinct from the four known states of matter, solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. Bioplasmic particles are constantly renewed by chemical process in the cells and are in constant motion. If there's a severe shift in this balance, the health of the organism is affected. Clouds of bioplasmic particles which have broken away from the organism can be measured moving through the air. Page 27, J.S. Bell, 1964, Bell's theorem. Subatomic particles are connected in a way that transcends space and time, so that anything that happens to one particle affects other particles. Page 27, Rupert Sheldrake, New Science of Life. When one member of a species learns a new behavior, the causative field for the species is changed slightly. If repeatedly, the behavior is somehow known by the whole species. Lyle Watson, Lifetide, The Biology of Consciousness, told of an example which he called the 100th monkey principle. One monkey learned a new behavior, and then monkeys on other islands somehow knew it. Page 29, Michelangelo's statue of Moses shows carnelian as two horns on his head,
Carneal.
rather than two beams of light.
So that's just if you look, that's Hebrew, right?
Yes, it says in Hebrew, carnelian can mean either horn of light.
Okay.
Or
So it can mean kind of like a ray or a horn.
okay.
But to confuse the two, I mean, what's an example of a word in English that's like that? Well, light. Well, that's really light. And that's light. What do
Yeah.
they have in common?
Nothing. Yeah.
don't know.
Well, who knows?
They
yeah.
might
Okay.
be related, but
Page 30. Von Reichenbach studied the relationship between electromagnetic emissions from the sun and associated Odic field concentrations. The greatest concentration of this energy lays within the red and blue-violet ranges. Opposite charges produce subjective feelings of warmth and cold. All electropositive elements gave the subject's feeling of warmth and produced unpleasant sensations. The cool ones were agreeable. The Odic field could be conducted through a wire very slowly. Velocity was dependent on mass density, not electrical conductivity. The force in humans produces a polarity similar to crystals along their major axis. Page 31. The left side of the body, negative, and the right, positive. 32. Light at 350 nanometers in a dark room. A slight increase of light in the room when people were in the room. What? Oh, it increased the light slightly with just people. Just the... Okay. In one case, the light decreased in the room because that person was full of despair and exhausted. Page 33. Soviet scientists found that living organisms emit energy vibrations between 300 and 2,000 nanometers. Biofield. Some people capable of bioenergy transfer have a wider, stronger biofield. Dr. Valerie Hunt at UCLA, a study for structural neuromuscular energy field and emotional approaches, consistent waveforms and frequencies correlated with colors, seen by Reverend Rosalind Breer of the Healing Light Center. Dr. Hunt repeated the experiment with other aura readers and got the same sort of results. Page 34. The heart chakra was consistently the most active. To see the universal energy field, gaze up at the sky on a warm, sunny day while laying, this is page 37, on grass. After some time, you'll see squiggly patterns of tiny white balls that appear briefly and leave a trail and vanish. Then you'll see that the whole field pulsates in a synchronized rhythm. On sunny days, the balls are bright and move fast. On cloudy days, they're translucent and slower. When gaze moves to trees, there's a green haze around the trees and no globules in the haze, but they're at the edge where they change their pattern and flow into the aura of the tree. This green appears in spring-summer. When leaves aren't present early spring, most trees have pink, red, or acute. If you put your hand or a crystal near the aura of a plant and then draw it away, you can see the auras of the plant and crystal stretch to try to maintain contact. The amethyst has a golden aura. Page 41. To see human aura, hold hands in a circle. Let energy flow. Stop flow. Sit opposite, if there's two people, sit opposite and touch palms and sense the flow. Now hold palms a few inches apart and increase and decrease the space between them, and you can feel the energy building up between your hands. Or if you do that, like that. Anyway, increase space to 8 inches and bring together until you feel pressure. At a 1/4 inch apart, you've touched your etheric body. At 3/4 inch apart, you've touched your emotional body together. Move right palm 1 inch closer to left palm and feel tingling on the back of your left hand. The energy field of your right hand went through your left hand. Hold hands 7 inches apart. Point right index finger at the left palm, finger 1 inch away. Draw circles on palm and focus on feeling. Hold hands 2 feet in front of face with white background. Relax eyes and look at the space between the fingertips 1 inch apart. Make note of what you see. The universal energy field permeates all space, animate and inanimate objects, and connects all objects with each other. It flows from one object to another, and its density varies inversely with the distance from its source. It follows the laws of harmonic inductance and sympathetic resonance, like when one tuning fork is struck and another near it gives off the same sound without being struck. Any changes in the material world is preceded by a change in this field. If you always get a little less energy out of something than you put into it, according to the second law of thermodynamics. The UEF seems to always create more energy. It seems to remain full no matter how much you take. Page 44. The 21 minor chakras are located at points where the energy strands cross 14 times in front of in front of ears, breasts, clavicle, palm of hand, solar foot, behind each eye, gonad, liver, stomach, knee, thymus gland, solar plexus, and 2 with spleen, so you can have that bar and give a verdict on it. They're 3 inches in diameter and 1 inch away from the body. Page 45. Frontal feelings, rear will, head, mental processes. I don't know what I was writing there. Each of the 7 chakras has 7 layers. Each swirling vortex of energy appears to suck energy from the UEF. The open end of a normal chakra in the first layer of aura is 6 inches in diameter, 1 inch from body. Touch, first chakra. Hearing, scent, taste, 5th chakra. Seeing, 6th chakra. Page 49. People would think clearly when 3rd and 6th chakras function well. Page 49. An energy field matrix in the shape of a leaf is projected by the plant. Wow, it's nice and sunny here.
Yeah, sun's just started coming out.
Oh, projected by the plant prior to the growth of the leaf. So it's the same shape as the leaf will be, but the leaf isn't there yet. It's just... Anyway, the leaf grows into the existing form. The web-like structure of the etheric body is in constant motion. The etheric body extends from 1/4 to 2 inches beyond the physical body and pulsates around 15 to 20 cycles per minute. It's blue-gray. More sensitive equals bluish, more athletic, robust equals grayish. The etheric structure sets the matrix for the cells to grow. Page 52. When people form relationships with each other, they grow cords from chakras connected to each other. The longer, deeper the relationship, the more cords and stronger. Torn cords, when relationship breaks, it's painful. These cords must be rerouted within the self. The 5th aura layer looks like the negative of a photo. It extends 1 to 2 feet from the body. Sound healing occurs there. Page 53. 6th layer is celestial body, emotional level of spiritual plane. 2 to 2 3/4 feet from the body, where we feel one with God. The 7th layer, causal body, 2.5 to 3.5 feet from the body. We know we're at one with God there. Thousands of shimmering golden threads. Golden power currents pulsates up and down the spine. Page 61, each major stage of life corresponds with new and higher vibrations in the activation of different chakras. The process of incarnating is directed by the higher self. This life pattern is held in the 7th layer of the aura, the catheric template and level. Page 62, we create our own reality. You literally create what you want. That's a quote. Page 68, people exit this life through the crown chakra. Page 71, a clockwise spin draws energy from the UEF into the chakra. Like the right-hand rule in electromagnetism, the changing magnetic field around a wire will induce a current in that wire. If, oh boy, I don't know what right-hand fingers curl clockwise around the outer edge of the chakra, your thumb points towards the body in the direction of the current, and the chakra is open to incoming energies. Page 72, when our chakras flow counterclockwise, our energy is sent out into the world. The imagined reality that we project onto our world is related to our image of what we concluded the world was like through our childhood experiences. The first chakra, coccygeal center, is related to the amount of physical energy. The coccyx acts as an energy pump on the etheric level, helping direct the flow of energy up the spine. When it's blocked, the person doesn't make an impression, avoids physical activity, and is low in energy and sickly. The pubic center, chakra 2A, the person's love for the opposite sex. If open, they enjoy sex. Full body orgasm requires that all centers are open. The sacral center, chakra 2B, when open, they feel sexual power. When blocked, lack sex drive, avoid sex. Orgasm, energy movement through the sexual chakras revitalizes and cleanses the body with an energy bath. Page 76, diaphragmatic center, chakra 3B, the intention for physical health. The solar plexus 3A, knowing one's unique universal connection. Heart 4A, through which we love. Between shoulder blades 4B, ego outer will. Throat chakra 5A, taking responsibility for one's own needs. Maturity is reached when one ceases to blame others for one's lacks in life and goes out to create what one needs and desires. If you set up a negative force field with negative expectations, you attract negative input. Trust the universe to nourish you, and open throat chakra. Professional center 5B, sense of self in society. Forehead center 6A, visualize and understand mental concepts. The mental executive center 6B, at back of head, implementing creative ideas formulated through the center of the forehead. If 6A front is open while the back one's closed, one has many creative ideas, but they never seem to work out. Crown center 7, connection to spirituality. Page 82, clockwise pendulum, open chakra. Size of circle relates to chakra strength. When pendulum is still, disease will result. Elliptical swing shows left-right side imbalance. The right side, aggressive, active, masculine. The left side, passive, receptive, feminine. Where elliptical pendulum swings left, the person is more likely to be passive. Page 84 shows the chart of swing meanings. Page 104, we create blocks because we see the world as unsafe. Tentacles, this person's full of own essence, but thinks allowing it to move means humiliation. Caught in despair, loses touch with own essence, so adopts a silent, brooding stance. Others try to help, but he needs to help others give out energy. Page 111, people with schizoid characters can leave their bodies easily and do it quite regularly. Tension held in rings around the body. Joints are usually weak, bodies uncoordinated with cold hands and feet, hyperactive and ungrounded. Main energy block at neck, one shoulder larger than the other, vague look in eyes because they're somewhere else. Schizoids used his defense system to avoid his inner terror of annihilation. The schizoid felt direct hostility from at least one parent who depended on for survival as a baby. This experience initiated his existential terror. The schizoid can find release by recognizing inner rage. The schizoid believes the world is cold, hostile, where isolation is forced upon anyone who wants to survive. Under this is the pain of knowing what he needs is a loving, warm connection and nourishment from other humans, but he hasn't been able to create that in his life. Stand on ground, allow terror, rage to come out. Practice self-love. Live accordingly to one's inner truth. Do you want to go in now?
Yeah, probably. Are you
Okay.
kind of halfway through?
I am about
There we go.
halfway.
So yeah, it's starting to get a little cool.
It's
on
pretty
one side.
interesting though, hey?
Yeah, it's
More
interesting.
than you thought?
I think a lot of people would think it's more wacky, but
Eh.
I got no problem with electrical